Hey guys, it is Horatio here with another Pokemon review. It was requested recently by one of my regular viewers that I start reviewing some plushes that maybe aren't that great, since I have a tendency to review ones and have all these wonderful, lofty compliments for them and how great they are and how cute they are, and I thought that I'd oblige. I don't have a whole lot of my Pokemon collection with me in San Francisco, and the majority of what I did bring is my very cute plushes, but here's one that maybe isn't so cute. This is a Mewtwo plush made by Banpresto. It was a UFO catcher plush in the year 1995. The significant thing about this Mewtwo plush is that it predates the anime and Mewtwo's appearance in the anime and movies. So it's based on the original pixel art from Pokemon Red and Green, because if we all remember, in Japan, Red and Green were released first, and then Blue was released with updated graphics to complete the trilogy. So, the best way to tell that it's based on that old art is that its tail is white. It's sometimes referred to as the White Tail Mewtwo plush, because in the original pixel art, only Mewtwo's belly was purple, and his tail was white. It was after his appearance in the anime that he started having a fully purple tail. So you can see his weird tail that likes to tuck between his legs is white. This is generally... There's some pretty ugly Mewtwo plushes out there, let's be honest. He's not a plush, he's not a Pokemon that likes to be interpreted in plush form, I guess, but of all of the ugly Mewtwo plush out there, this guy kind of takes the cake. Now, it's important for me to say that while I'm calling him totally ugly, I don't hate him. He became one of my favorite plushes in my collection, simply because he's so ugly, and he's so dumb looking. He's not... You know, there's menacing Mewtwo's, and then there's the cute little chibi baby Mewtwo's, and then there's this guy, and I have a friend who actually gave him a voice and a personality, and when he talks like this. So, he's kind of grown on me over the years, but now that you've heard the backstory, and seen him from a distance, let's bring him up and take a look at his details. We'll start out with his eyes, which is the same fabric, that itchy, coarse, lint-showing fabric that I always complain about, over a plastic backing with screen-printed or painted details. His iris color is kind of a salmon pink. His nose and his mouth, his mouth is it's not embroidered, it's just stitched on. You can see his ears. The seams, which I always complain about with this fabric, are very apparent. On some plushes, it kind of adds charm, and on others, you're like, why are the seams so apparent? I don't want the seams to be apparent. You can see that his sort of crest thing, I don't know what we want to call this, his chest plate is made out of felt. His fingers, too, are made out of felt. That actually makes them degrade very easily, and I know that as I've looked on Japanese auction sites for more of this plush, you will sometimes see them without fingers, because felt falls apart over time if it's not taken care of. See where there's a gap in the felt where his neck thing, outer spine, I've heard this thing called a lot of different things, is, and a gap in the felt there, and this makes it apparent that his felt chest plate is just glued on. You can see where his tail starts, and it's kind of an odd tail. It makes him hard to display because you kind of have to wedge it between his legs for him to stand up, which is kind of weird looking, or some people have done that, which also works, but he doesn't like to stand when you do it. You can see where the belly ends. Purple belly, it's the exact same fabric. His feet are almost actually pretty successful Mewtwo feet. This thing right here is what prevents them from being successful. It's supposed to just be a round ball, and it's kind of weird looking, but overall his hind feet actually kind of work. Take a quick look at the tush tag. He is an older plush. The tush tag is faded. You can just make out where it says 1995 made in China, and it has the Banpresto logo. And flip it around and you can see the Pocket Monsters logo and its Nintendo copyright date. So overall, it's a very old plush. It's generally considered one of the rare Mewtwo plushes, but if you do find it on a Japanese auction site, you're usually only looking at 500 to maybe 1,000 yen, and that's simply because not a lot of people want him outside of pretty hardcore Mewtwo collectors, because he is pretty ugly. That said, like I said before, he does have a lot of charm, and an argument that I do like to make very frequently is he's a beautiful example of how far Banpresto has come. In just 10 years, how far they've come, and now that it's been 16 years since this first wave of Pokemon plushes, how far they've come, how beautiful their plushes are these days. And it gives hope to a lot of companies like Jax that have already made a lot of really beautiful improvements in their plush lines, and it gives hope that they will continue to make those improvements, and eventually their plushes will be as high quality as the UFO plushes are these days. So, there you have it. There's your Mewtwo. His name is Alfred, by the way. Thanks for watching, guys. And this is Horatio signing out. I'll see you guys at the next review.